Hi entrepreneurs, how are you? How are you? So today I want to talk to you about filing tax extensions, and I want to bring some clarity to a lot of questions that I've been seeing getting posted, as well as people reaching out to ask me these questions in my inbox and things like that. Okay. And so yes, some clients of mine are going on extension, and I was a lot of them had some of these questions as well. So as usual, I always bring my answers to my YouTube channel because I know a lot of you have the same question. I'm Coach Tasha. If this is your first time here, please be sure to subscribe. I talk about all things taxes, entrepreneurship, building wealth, money, finances, marketing, all the things, okay? All right, to help you be successful. All right, so first, let me talk about what is a tax extension, all right, and how do we file for one. So here's what a tax extension is, because there's so many misconceptions out there, right? Now, a tax extension is basically you're asking the IRS for additional time to file your taxes, okay? It's not an additional time to pay taxes that you owe, but it is giving you an additional 6 months to file your tax return. And I'm going to tell you in a few minutes why you would want to do that, all right? Why there are some circumstances where you would want to. So that's what a tax extension is. Now, April 15th is the due date for individuals and also corporations. If you are a business owner taxed as a partnership or S Corp, I hope you remember to have filed your extension back on March 15th, but nevertheless, that's already passed. So now we're here talking about April 15th, okay? And so that's a due date for corporations and individuals. So even individuals who have an LLC. And I'm not gonna get too sidetracked with that, but there's so many people who misunderstand and think that they're supposed to file their LLC tax return separate from their individual, not if you're just a standard LLC that is not taxed like an S corporation. Okay, just follow me for a minute. Don't worry about trying to understand what that means right now, okay, because I don't want to keep you too long with this video. But if you have not elected for your LLC to be taxed like an S corporation, your LLC files a business return called Schedule C that gets incorporated with your individual tax return filing. Okay, so all of that is due April 15th. All right, so please don't be confused. How do you file for one? Okay, so the form is called 4868, which you can find right on the IRS website. But I'm going to tell you something. If you have an IRS profile, username, password, whatever, you have an account, it's so easy to just log in and you can request your extension right from there, okay? Now, you may want to also check with your state to see if there's a separate tax extension that you need to file with them. And mostly all states now, Department of Revenues have, where you can have a username and password, and you should be able to request your extension right from their site. You can also contact a professional. You're welcome to reach out to me. My information is always in the description box. But yes, and see if I'm available to still help you out. I'm still taking on new clients actually, but in any event. And so yes, and you can also file extensions with the traditional, tax softwares out there as well, okay? So that's what I want to say. That's how you file your extension, all right? Now, another question that came up, does filing extensions increase my chances of getting audited? That is such a huge misconception, all right? No, it does not, okay? In fact, the rumor report, and this is it's nothing extra in stone, but this is just the rumor report. A lot of times you'll find that less people on extension get audited, but that's nothing etched in stone. So please, sorry, let me just disable this. Okay. So that's nothing like real to attach to that. That's not what I'm saying. But I just want to say to you that the biggest thing here, whether that's a rumor report, whether there's some truth to it, who the hell knows, but the biggest thing here is that filing on extensions does not increase your chances of being audited. That is a huge misconception. Listen, if they're going to audit you based on whatever's going on with your return, they were going to audit you for that particular thing whether or not you went on extension. Okay, so do not be, confused by that. All right. Now, another thing, how long is the extension period and when will my new deadline be? Okay, as I just mentioned, 6 months. Okay, so your new deadline will be October 15th. All right. Now, obviously, you don't always need to wait until October. You'll have that 6-month window to get it all in. Okay. But yes, you will have until October 16th to now get your tax return filed, okay? Can I get an extension on paying my taxes if I owe money? No, as I just mentioned, not to pay, okay? But let me also shed a little light on that. Even if you don't have, first of all, you may not know how much you owe, if you even owe, okay? If you even owe, because if you're due a refund, let me also be clear that if you're definitely due a refund, then even if you didn't file an extension, it's not a big issue because you were not going to get a penalty anyway because you're due a refund. And a lot of people don't understand that. Okay, the extension is really applies to people who are going to owe. Even though if you're getting a refund, yes, your tax return is due by April 15th. But what I'm saying is that even if you don't get it filed by then, they owe you a refund. So there's no penalty involved there. All right. Now, that question about what about paying? No, it doesn't extend for you to pay. But hear me out for a minute. Even if you can't afford to pay what you think you owe or what you already know you owe, it doesn't mean don't file the extension. Still file it because at least you're protecting yourself from a late filing penalty. You're not protecting yourself from a late payment penalty. And if you do owe, yeah, you'll basically be still getting hit with interest and penalty. Yes, you will, if you're not in a position to pay what you owe by April 15th, okay? But that's like the worst thing that will happen. You'll be getting penalties and interest, okay? But of course, if you can pay, yeah. And it's also great to include a payment with the extension if you do think you're gonna owe. Now, what I usually recommend is like the minimum. If you're able to send whatever you think you owe, if it's more than 1,000, great. But if you do think you're gonna owe 1,000 or more, it's always best if you can at least send 1,000 with that extension. Definitely do that because that is so helpful. There's a strong chance that even if you do owe more than 1,000, you might be okay as far as like some additional penalties on how much you owe because you had paid the 1,000, if you follow what I'm saying, right? But not to have not sent anything, okay, that's not a good approach. Okay, now let's see, what if I don't pay my estimated taxes by the original deadline? As I just mentioned, right, you would get hit with penalties and interest. Okay, now also what I want to say, how do I know if I should file for a tax extension? Okay, that's what I was going to say. So here are some circumstances where you probably would, first of all, you don't want to rush. Like if you're not ready, you may not have all your documents in. Believe it or not, some documents still have not been sent to you, whatever. And so that's, first of all, you may not have all your documents. You may not have all of your financial stuff that relates to taxes all together, and you may not want to, you shouldn't rush. So that's a primary reason to file for an extension, because you don't want to rush. The other thing is, if you're planning on contacting a tax professional to help you with your situation, now it's going to give you additional time to find someone who, you can work better with. And I actually make sure you check out my previous video that I did about how to find the perfect, or not perfect, but the best tax professional for you. Okay, make sure you check out my video, and I'll leave that in the description box. So yes, if you want, if you're planning to like work with someone, at least get a consultation in. Even if you're not going to have them prepare your taxes, at least get a consultation in. Okay, so that's another reason why you'd want to go an extension, to give yourself additional time to locate and speak with a professional to either consult with you or actually handle your tax filing. Okay, and then maybe they can even help you with what you should be doing for the rest of the year in 2024, so that when we file next year in 2025 for this year, you'll get a better outcome. A lot of people don't understand that tax planning is what you do throughout the year to get a better result when you file your taxes the following year. Okay. So those are the main things I wanted to express, and I hope you found this video helpful. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thank you.